the general citizen know the processes of mining?
A small program that I started because I thought of educating those that may be able to listen to me in terms of different lines of business. This is episode number 3. We are still focused on mining. My name is Prophet Magaya. I am from Zimbabwe. We are beaming from Zimbabwe right now. And the second episode, I invited 2 powerful people, one a presenter and an expert when it comes to trading and mining as well. And they were trying to share their thinking, and the presenter was asking questions. She's well respected. She's a woman that is well known for presenting in Zimbabwe and beyond. What I did, I said to them, the second episode was not that very much long. Let's throw another episode before we change the guest. And I'm very excited because Gary is still around in the country. So Gary is with me today. The lovely woman is still with us today, who is going to also lead us in this presentation. She's going to lead in asking questions. She has been seeing your questions over the second episode. And the third episode as well, she will summarize all the questions that are coming from different people. Remember, we spoke about mining, we spoke about location, we spoke about geology, we spoke about you knowing even the background of your area, how it is, what you can get, all types of mineral. And from the onset of these programs, I've repeatedly said, follow the procedures of registering. You can't avoid your government, you can't avoid the law. No one is above the law. So follow every procedure and do it with honor to God. So I'll give it back to her. She will introduce herself again, and then we go into this third episode. May God bless you.
Greetings, I'm Leanne Bernard. Welcome to yet another exciting episode of the Business Forum, where we are still discussing mining. And as the man of God mentioned, we still have Jerry, the country. Jerry, welcome back to the program. And just off air, man of God, we're talking about, is there any other same structure of our geology, same as Zimbabwe, that other countries are also adapting to?
Yeah. Last time when I was speaking to Jerry, he gave me an example of Australia and other countries. I would love him to respond to that, because I think what he told me was quite exciting. Because you see, personally, I thought value addition is the answer. But he openly said to me, man of God, we can't contest. Let him say it on his own.
Jerry, you can come in a bit.
So I think if you look at the main mining countries in the world, which is Australia, Canada, and to a lesser extent countries like the US, their economies were built on mining. So what we tend to do and I'm not saying this in a bad way about our governments in Africa, we tend to think that we can do everything, but we need to be more focused. So if you look at an economy like Australia,
yes,
they focus on, they've got a lot of other resources, one of the biggest gold producers in the world, but they focus on iron ore.
Okay.
But in terms of resource of iron ore, South Africa has got a much bigger resource than Australia. And yet in Australia, they produce, or they export to China at their peak was almost 900 million tons of iron ore per annum. Then you look at gas. They supply 70% of the gas into China. But this is in its raw format.
Okay.
They're not, Australia is a wealthy enough country that they could build their own
No,
processing plants and all that, but they're exporting it raw. Their advantage is volumes. South Africa, which is got a bigger resource of iron ore than Australia, exports a fraction. I don't know what the current stats are, but the last time I checked, it was like 9 million compared to 900 million tons. And what they've done in Australia is they've put their money on infrastructure. Because if you're going to export that much volume, you need to have the right infrastructure.
Okay.
And in Australia, it's automated. So when we say it's automated, if you go to a big Australian iron ore mine, the workers are not driving excavators. They're going into a computer room, which then controls all the machinery,
underground,
which is then mining.
Wow.
And then that includes the trains. The trains.
So their focus is on automated machines, not on value addition of the ore. Okay,
That's correct.
I get
And they're focusing on volume. So their niche is we can do volumes and we can feed the demand in China.
Okay.
So they could go and say, oh, we want to value add, but at the end of the day, we have to be realistic. We can't compete with the Chinese when it comes to manufacturing. The Chinese are the best in the world when it comes to manufacturing, but they need resource to manufacture. They need raw material to manufacture. So for us, the way I see it is we're better focused on let's upgrade our infrastructure so we can move volume. And remember, we're competing on price.
Yes.
So our disadvantage here is that we're too expensive because of our logistics.
And you are also far away from the sea.
We are far away from the sea, but if you look at Australia, because it's a continent.
Okay, yeah.
So some of those mines
are way far.
They are thousands of kilometers from the port. But they put the infrastructure, and because it's automated, it means it brings their cost down.
Okay.
When the cargo gets to the port, I would love to, for those that are on Google, you can Google the Australian ports, iron ore ports. It's automated. The vessels come in, they're loaded from the mine using computers. So you cut down a lot of costs. And the production doesn't stop. It's 24/7, and they're just focused on moving cargo. So for us, we need to find a niche, but ultimately it's not just about beneficiation. I know it sounds great and we want to do all these great and wonderful things, but ultimately we need to feed the market. We need to feed what the market wants. We know antimony, for instance, there's a massive demand, but we can't meet even 1% of the market.
We can't.
So we to put ourselves on the map as a producer, we need to get to the volumes that the world will notice us, but we have to get it to the market in the most efficient way so that we can then move volumes, and that helps us attract the best price.
Okay. So in short, if we move the volumes that we've got a say in the world, it then means that we can start at least to detect when it comes to pricing.
And so the pricing becomes key, but mining is like farming.
Okay.
It's seasonal.
That's right.
So because the biggest market is China, we follow what's happening on the ground in China. So when you look at certain resources, some resources will be more in demand in summer. Some will be more in demand in winter.
Yes.
But the manufacturing hubs, the smelters in China, they can't shut down. So all year round, they have to have resource. So the key thing for us as we develop the industry, as we put ourselves on the world map, is we need to learn the best way to market our resources and when to market those resources. So we need to know that, right, the demand is high, that's when we need to have our resources on the market. When the demand is low, we can hold back and wait that, well, when the market is right, then we'll take our product to market.
But you know, just to jump in, when you're hungry, can you hold on?
I was about to say the same thing. The second you store it for what
I think what's critical is we have to plan. This is a 20-year plan. It's not. What I'm saying is not something we can do tomorrow, but we can plan. And 20 years is not a long time. And I've worked with the Chinese for over 20 years. I've seen how they've developed. I've seen how they've become a superpower from humble backgrounds. And if you meet any Chinese, they'll tell you their background. Most of them came from villages, but now they're
the champions.
They're the champions of the world. So it can be done, but we have to be better at marketing our resource. We have to be better at focusing
very
on
much strategic.
Absolutely. We have to focus on what we're good at. We can't be good at everything. So to go back to the Australian story, which is similar to the Canadian story in similar countries, they're very good at pushing volumes onto the world market in resources that they're very good at mining.
So in other words, as a government, as a country, we must also try and understand what are we good at mining.
We have to. We have to specialize.
We have to specialize.
So when you look at Australia, they're iron ore and gas. That's their main focus.
Yeah.
And that's why China is the biggest trading partner.
I'm told that is massive, and I'm quite excited that at least in my area, and they discovered a huge deposit of iron ore.
All right.
A huge one. I believe and I hope that it will bring something out. Iron is a unique mineral. I've never done it.
Yeah.
It's not part of my structures, but I'm just interested because you mentioned about Australia. You spoke to me about fluoride. So I'm talking about because there's something that you told me. You spoke to me about fluoride. Is it fluoride?
Yes.
That we're discussing about, and its demand in what times in China.
Yes.
Maybe you can.
So the way international trade works, commodities works, it's seasonal. So typically, the commodities are traded on a global basis.
Yes.
So what tends to happen is that it's seasonal, traded on a global basis. Everyone is selling to China, but everyone is sourcing from places like Africa, or
Mozambique,
Zimbabwe. Yes, but it's being traded worldwide. So the biggest pool of money for commodity trading sits in Switzerland, but in Switzerland they don't have a single resource. But the biggest orders into China,
in Switzerland,
it's coming from Switzerland.
Wow.
But the Swiss know, and when we talk of the Swiss, you only have to look at Glencore, the head office is where it's in Switzerland. So if you are Chinese and you want to buy a resource, you have to go to Glencore, the head office is in Switzerland, but they're trading African commodities. So when we talk of fluoride, as an example, because it's seasonal,
yes.
the main reason why fluoride is so critical is because it's a coolant for a smelter.
Okay.
Now, as you know, to make iron to melt high, tough metal, the heat has to be very hot.
Yeah.
So in summer, because naturally it's hotter, and for those that have never been to China, it gets very hot. Their summers are hotter than our summers.
Yes, I'm told. Even their winter are so cold than our winter.
That's right.
Yeah.
So in summer, it can be 40 degrees, and the smelters, as you know, have to be very hot. So what they need is they need to use fluoride to cool the smelters. Wow. So as a result, there's a huge demand for fluoride in summer.
Okay.
In winter, because naturally it's going to cool down, so the price always drops.
Okay.
So going back to what we're saying about knowing how and when to market our resource, and it's seasonal. So we want to make sure that if we're doing fluoride in summer, we need to make sure we moved as much of our material to China in summer.
The amount of fluoride in Zimbabwe is amazing.
Yeah.
There is a lot of fluoride in Zimbabwe. Of course, Mozambique is a huge deposit, but Zimbabwe is a huge amount of fluoride. The challenge then becomes who buys it.
Yeah.
How do we connect with the buyer? So see, if it comes to gold, we are very certain that Fidelity printers will take all your gold, and they've never failed to do that.
Yeah.
But let us speak about fluoride. That's for us fluoride. Let's speak about fluoride. Who buys it? How do we make these buyers to dwell with us, so that if any artisanal miner, they have got 15 tons, for instance, at least. It's bought already. I'm asking him, but I've got the answer already. So it's gonna try and help us. And I want you to see, as viewers, that we are carrying resources that may change our lives, but if there are no structures and ways, it's a waste of time.
So fluoride, because it's such a key ingredient for the smelters throughout the year, but more so in summer. So because it's a key ingredient, it's a coolant. So it means that they need massive volumes in China. So the market is a massive market, but it's not, it's a resource where they want volumes. The clients that I have for fluoride, they will take up to 1 million tons.
Up to 1 million tons?
A month, one client.
Wow.
If it's available. But the other thing that's very significant, and as you're saying to me, Zimbabwe has got a big deposit. The Chinese used to mine a lot of fluoride. But because of pollution, they've cut down their production of fluoride. So because of that, they're trying to meet the gap of shutting down their mines and getting fluoride to come in from different parts of the world. So Zimbabwe, I'm assuming, is like Mozambique, where the grades are higher. So of course, because the grades are higher, the product is going to perform better and you're going to get a much better price. So fluoride is one of those resources for me, which we could almost have a strategic play where we can produce in volumes. So for someone who wants a market, and I'm sure Prophet, everyone knows who he is, that we have a massive market for fluoride. It's one of those things that we can't meet demand. Even if we produce 100 million a year, we can't meet the demand.
Here you are. We can't meet the demand.
Also, I mean, I'm still sticking on that point. Maybe you want to clarify where they can take this fluoride to.
We as a ministry, as a company that is doing this mining ventures, conducting us direct and speaking about any mineral that you have, it can become exciting, and we can find ways that I'm bringing him and his team, and even those that are watching right now who may say to me, what did you find when you did your program? Because what we want to do is to become a conduit. Who has the program? Who has the product? Who has the buyer? We bring them together. We are in the middle. Or the buyer is looking for certain thing, we then advertise as well, then the people bring it to us. So as he's saying, he has the market already. He's part of us, he's part of the team. So this one is easy. It's like antimony, it's like beryllium, it's like tantalite.
Yeah.
We have the market. He has shown me the money, he has shown me the buyers. So it's easy.
So we are the contact person for the distribution of the...
Yes, it's a fluoride and everything. Yeah, good. Yeah, good.
Okay, highlighting on the equipment from China, how do you rate their quality?
Okay, when you go to China, you will see something there. I went to 𝗪𝗪𝗪. They will sell according to what you want to buy. So most of the equipment that people are buying in Zimbabwe is not suitable for mining, but is suitable for their amount of money. But when it comes to mining, you then need a strong equipment that is durable so that you can have value for money. So one has to be very careful when they buy. You may be excited, but if it works for a short time, then you've lost a lot of money unaware. So most people are not being careful when it comes to buying equipment. They are buying equipment that can only last them for few days, few months, because that's what they can afford. So people are always investing in equipment, but they're not having that return of investment because it's not strong enough.
Okay. So, which takes us back to what you were speaking about, the difference in geologies, like in Zimbabwe and Australia, where you said there's less equipment used and they're using the automated mode.
Less of human resource, but more of automated mode, and the equipment is strong, so they then extract more than us. So you see what happens is this. Let me clarify more. You see people excited buying useless machines, and they keep on buying and rotating on one position, not reaching a level whereby they can float. So most miners are frustrated because they couldn't extract enough. Why? The equipment did resist them to do so. So we then need to be very careful. What are you buying and how durable it is?
Okay, great. And seeing that Jerry is still with us, and maybe you want to mention another mineral that we haven't mentioned. We've had antimony, we've had fluoride. Any other particular rare?
Yeah, I think so. I think tantalite is a very exciting resource because it's so the Congo, the DRC, Australia is one of the major producers, Brazil and other parts of South America. It's a rare earth. Okay. So most countries that have lithium will have tantalite. But tantalite, normally, it's got high radiation. So the Zimbabwean tantalite has got low radiation. So that makes it
a special one.
Very special and very much in high demand. And we can demand a much higher price. Nice. But we haven't produced. When I say we haven't produced, because the way the market is set on a global basis, countries are rated based on what volumes they can produce. So for a trader sitting in Switzerland, they won't even look at us if the volumes are not what they're looking for. Because remember, the clients in China will have basically their demand. Then the traders will place what they can supply. So because we haven't produced that much, but the market is a very great market. But from a strategic point of view, it's an exciting market because it's sold per kilogram.
I want to tell you something through him. He actually gave me an order of tantalite and say, as much as you can supply, a written, confirmed order, proof of funds, and everything. So as we are speaking right now and somebody feels that I've got tantalite,
there's a demand for tantalite.
Enough. Wow. Enough. And they are ready. We have actually investors that are flying specifically for tantalite. Okay. I think in 2 days from now.
Yeah, right? 2 days from now.
Yes, we're coming for tantalite and they are ready. They are ready to buy. And we follow all the procedure. Yeah. We follow all the procedure and we so that we respect all government regulations. Some that you are starting, but we are following everything. And the buyers are there. So if you have got tantalite, like what you're saying, if you've got fluorite, like if you've got antimony, all this, if you've got beryllium, or what he's saying, the buyers are there.
Well, on that note, taking us to a break, don't go away. We'll bring you more on this business forum.
I'm going to give this to everyone. I've got enough for everyone. And they're not for sale. It's for every child. The purpose of the prayer card is to remind you that you are not alone. When you're home, when you're alone, you hold it and start to pray. I want you to know this. When you're praying, I want you to imagine we are in church, we are together. I want you to reach a level whereby you feel, but you know, I'm not alone. I'm under the covering. What I'm going to say? Money in Jesus' money in Jesus' money. This is not an anointing that demons may be used of or that they were aware of. No, this one they did not see it coming. They did not see it coming. After I give you this card, I shall give you my common time of prayer so that we can pray together. Yes, I want to always give you, so you touch your card and hear me pray with you.
This is the first time we see an orange fishbowl.
So I wanted to know if anyone knows the type of fish which is here.
before I have to ask, what's the design? What's going on with these walls?
Greetings and welcome back. You are still watching the Business Forum. With us on set is the man of God, Prophet Walter Magaya, as well as an expert, Jerry, who is still discussing about an interesting mineral, the Tantalite. During the break, you enlightened us on something that the viewers also might want to know. Maybe you can dive straight into that.
Yeah, so the most resources, you have to move bulk. The advantage of Tantalite, it's sold on per kilogram on the global market.
Okay.
But the other thing is, because it's sold on a kilogram on the global market, it means you don't actually ship it by road. You fly it anywhere in the world. So what that means is, one, it opens up, you have a global market. You can deliver in 24 hours anywhere else in the world.
Yeah.
It's sought after in most parts of the world. But going back to what I was talking about, radiation. Tantalite from the Congo, which is the biggest producer in the world, cannot be flown via Europe because the radiation is too high.
Wow.
Because our radiation is low, it means we have more access to the global market for demand of Tantalite. And
It's an advantage. Yeah.
it's a massive advantage. And because we can fly it, we can supply it anywhere in the world. So it's almost like flowers, but much more expensive.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm trying to marry the two flowers. They gotta get there fresh enough.
Absolutely.
Okay. And just to wrap up our episode for today, man of God, what would you like to say to the people who are watching? Maybe somebody has joined today and wants an appreciation of the program. What are your...
Okay, let me close it up.
Sure.
So this is our third episode, and Leanne is here, Jerry is here. We were speaking about minerals from the first day. I introduced this program in respect to bring you to the table to discuss and see what you have and what type of help will you need. We are a ministry, but I believe that if you don't create a platform for a blessing, the blessing won't come. Behind me is a screen that is showing you different minerals. That's cobalt for you. Different minerals are coming, nickel. What we're trying to do here is to say, maybe close to you, there is a certain mineral that you can make money with, but you're not aware of how to do it or how it is done. Remember, we're not taking away the aspect of registration and respecting the government laws. Every law must be followed. Every law must be followed. But that said, I want to be excited over my country, Zimbabwe specifically, because the government has allowed our people to mine. It's a different formation in terms of other countries. And also, I want to appreciate the Minister of Mines, who is a very intelligent man. I've worked close with him. I also want to applaud the new leader of the fund, 𝗪𝗶𝗶 Fund, which is an amazing department that is open up doors for such discussion like what you are doing right now, and they are ready to work with anyone who has a certain idea that can develop the country. So we are in a nation where, look, this is native copper. which is found also in Zimbabwe, and we are saying we have native copper, we have what antimony, we have other minerals. What mineral do we have that we can work together and make sure that we take out the value that might be taken out of your mineral? What understanding do you need that we can bring forth to you so that at least you can have a better understanding? What is the value of different minerals? Cobalt, sometimes if you go to Google, it will show you 1 million, sometimes it will show you 300,000. Did you know about cobalt? Aluminium, different types of minerals are there. What is close to you? How do we work together? Do you understand your geology? How do you produce millions together? How do you change our status because of the God-given gifts that we have? So we are still speaking about minerals, and we're going to have a 4th episode, but the 4th episode shall be in response to all what you are writing right now and what you are asking. There are numbers that are flowing down there. Take note of those numbers, speak to us through those numbers. May we respond to you person by person. What do you have? What do you want? Do you understand what you're holding in your hands? Please remember what I said. Let's follow what the government requires when it comes to registration. I want to appreciate my host. She was hosting me, but I'm appreciating. I want to appreciate my visitor for coming through. This program is going to be on different television, but at this moment maybe it's on the other TV, or you're watching us on any other station that you're watching us from. May the Lord bless you, and may He give you all what you are desiring, and may you get the blessing of His minerals, the covering of His minerals as a child of God. God bless you.
This is the first time we see an orange fish.
So I wanted to know if anyone knows the type of fish which is here.
I was wondering, so I had to ask, what's the design? What's going on with this walls?
There are moments that you feel like you're in a cage. You're trying to go this side is blocked. You're trying to go to this side, you're blocked. Breakthrough in Jesus' mighty name.
Every individual needs a special touch to turn small beginnings into remarkable success. Whether in business, finances, or personal growth, God's touch can move us forward. Join us on Sunday, 8th December 2024. It's a big Sunday service for a life-changing experience, unlocking breakthroughs from small to big. Prophet W. Magaya will be giving for free the Touch of Grace prayer cards to every child of the ministry.
The purpose of the prayer card is to remind you that you are not alone.
Be a Yada Hotel guest house visitor on this big Sunday weekend from the 6th to the 9th of December. Take advantage of the walk-through altar experience, open to all, and experience your own testimony. 8th December 2024. It's a big Sunday. Be there.
I'm going to give this to everyone. I've got enough for everyone, and they're not for sale. It's for every child. The purpose of the prayer card is to remind you that you are not alone. When you're home, when you're alone, you hold it and start to pray. I want you to know this. When you're praying, I want you to imagine we are in church, we are together. I want you to reach a level whereby you feel, but you know, I'm not alone. I'm under the covering. What do you want to say? Money in Jesus, money in Jesus, money in Jesus, money. This is not an anointing that demons may be used of or that they were aware of. No, this one they did not see it coming. They did not see it coming. After I give you this card, I shall give you my common time of prayer so that we can pray together. Yes, I want to always give you, so you touch your card and hear me pray with you.